I hope you all are safe and keeping your family as well safe. So thanking to the Almighty for all the help that He has given us, and thank you and grateful to the person who has opened the doors of PIM and book club for us today, because this is a growth platform and we are able to accomplish a lot. So thank you to that platform, and thank you for the opportunity that we each of us get in everything that we perform. Thank you to Kiran and the volunteers who actually make this happening event. So with that, yeah, Kiran, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sana, for a lovely message. So I do have the list of topics. If anyone wants to go first, if anyone wants to start that talk, you can definitely raise your hand and I can call you at your name, or else I do have the list with me. So I can give you a few seconds if you want to raise your hand. And meanwhile, Karthik, will you take care of the timer? Kya? Okay.
Yeah,
Great. So Yogita raised her hand. So let's start with her. Yogita, I am making you spotlight.
Yes.
Abstract.
Hello everyone. I'm Yogita. I'm currently working as a teacher in a school. I like to reading the books, and my favorite book is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Okay, it is and I'm explaining about that book or book review. Okay, The Secret. It is the book which can change your life. This book is all about the law of attraction. What is the law of attraction? Law of attraction is a process according to which you can get anything you want, or you can achieve anything just by constantly thinking about that thing. Also, whether it is money, love, health, or any other thing which you can think and just constantly thinking about that, you can get that thing. That is the law of attraction. Then features of this book. This book is very interesting. It is the talk about the stories of those people who have become very rich and successful from the very poor and bad conditions. And language of this book is very casual and simple also. You should read that book. And this book told about the law of attraction. There are 3 steps of that law of attraction. First step is ask. First, ask. You have to ask about what you want in your life. You have to clear about that thing, what you want. So, but exactly, you have to think exactly what you want. If it is money, so how much money you want? It is 50,000, 1 lakh, million, billion, or etc. If you want girlfriend, then how she is looking, you can imagine, and you have to ask. You have to ask, only ask, but clearly. This is the first step. Only ask. Then second step is belief. You have to believe that you will get what you want, you are asking for. It is very simple. Behave like that. Behave like you have actually received that thing. If it is money that you are asking for, so behave like that. Imagine you have actually received that money, and uh, think about all the luxurious things that will come with that money, what you will do with that money, what you buy with that money, that all things. There has to be no doubt in your mind. Okay, then you have to absolutely sure that you will receive that you are asking for. That is the belief. Second step, this is it. Then third step is receive. There is only one thing you have to do it in order to receive what you are asking for. That is to feeling good, that you are going to receive, and be grateful, be happy that universe is going to give you what you are asking for. That is the theme of that book. uh, this is the great book. You should read that book. This can change your life, and you will also confident about that book also. Okay, so this is the very good book, and I like that book. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Yogita. It is so good. पहली बार आपने बात किया and you also finished in time. मतलब dot 3 minutes में आपने finish कर दिया. You covered all the 3 points, and definitely the points you told sounds very simple, but yeah, I don't know how many people can really apply in practical. It is not that easy. I have applied it. 60% तो fail हो जाते हैं, 40% काम आ जाता है जब burning desire आता है. But yeah, simple but yet powerful. Thank you so much, Yogita, for sharing your
Thank you.
talk. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Luchasmita, you're there, kya? Will you go next? So I spotlight you. Yeah. To unmute. Karo. Right, unmute.
I'm Luchasmita, and today's my topic is from the book What to Say When You Talk with Yourself. So you can self-talk in its various forms, and you'll find that all self-talks are Sir, 1 minute.
Hope you and your family are healthy and safe. My name is Pankaj. Presently I'm working at ISC Bangalore as a project associate. Today I'm talking on the topic of rich dad and poor dad on financial literacy. The author Robert Kiyosaki explained on the that he had the two fathers, means one is a rich dad and the other one is poor dad. Rich dad is not elite, not more in education, but poor dad is he is very good in education. Rich dad always tell him to, means there is a more focus on assets, and poor dad only for income. I will give you one one example. Ramesh and Suresh both are working in the same company on same job and same salary. Suresh spending his income on his more means expensive cars, sports bikes, and costly phones. He feels like he's like assets, but not these are not assets. These are liabilities. On the other hand, Suresh is on the same role. He expenses his income on lands, bonds, stocks, and required skills, which he is getting to some income. So my means in this the author wants to say that what we should not think how much we are getting. We should brilliantly use what we have. Today is my first talk. If I got any mistake, please forgive me.
No mistake, Pankaj. No mistake. I'm so happy that you spoke. It is not easy for sure. So, this is the first step of what you take, because
Yes, because I am very shy of camera, and first time I am giving.
You were shy before. अब shy नहीं हो गया. अब आ चुके हो ना इधर.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
कुछ ही महीने का time है बस.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, all.
Thank you so much, Mani. Thank you so much for Pankaj for participating. All right, so we'll move to the next speaker. We'll go with Karthik. Karthik, you're there. Karthik Prabhakar.
Hey, Kiran, yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead next.
Sure.
Right, just a second. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Hope you're doing good, right? I mean, hope everyone is safe and sound. So today we are going to talk about a topic called Think Right Towards People, from a book called Magic of Thinking Big, right? So I think this is a topic which kind of gets neglected. I think the people factor is always neglected. We are all concerned about success. So, so what, according to every one of you, I mean, what is needed to be successful in life? Is it talent? Is it skills? Is it your attitude? So everyone will have one or the other of these answers, right? But I mean, what if I say if people are important, right? People are important for your success. I mean, if I take you back to like say 3 or 4 weeks when I talked about the mastermind principle, we spoke about mastermind connecting a group of people with common attitude to create a mastermind group to achieve success, right? Together. So the underlying topic when we talked about mastermind was also about grouping people of similar attitude or similar mindset, right? So here also we are talking about building friendships, building relationships, which will indirectly help you to grow, right? So always boil down, I mean, success always boils down to people, okay? Whether you take whichever book you talk about, I mean, so people are always important in your life, right? So now that we have established what success is all about, how do we build relationships and friendships, right? I mean, is it easier to build relationship and friendships? Um, what do people look after? I mean, look in you before they accept your friendship or before you make meaningful relationships, right? So is it again, is it your talent, is your money, is your attitude? So there are different sets, right? But everything everything, I mean, the most important thing is about the likability factor, right? Um, so I mean, if you take a college lecturer, right? I mean, we've all been to college. So if you, I mean, you will have different lecturers that you like, right? Why do you like them? Is it because of the knowledge that they have, or is it the way they teach, or is the way they clarify your doubts, or is the way that they behave with people, behave with the students? So there's a combination of things, right? You cannot just have talent and not be liked. There are a lot of people who you genuinely don't like, even though you know they are the best in their respective fields, right? So people who are likable and have real talent are the people who are going to grow, right? So the author just gives an example. I mean, it's a very nice saying that he actually says that people don't grow in their job. People don't grow higher in their jobs. Actually, people are lifted up in their jobs. Who does the lifting? It's not heavy lifting, right? It's the people who are around you, who like you genuinely. I mean, if you're in a team and you are working for a team and you are boosting the team morale, so and you're helping them in their lives, so do you think the team will let you down? I mean, if they, whenever there's a chance for them to lift you up, they will definitely lift you up. You don't need to grow yourself. The team or the people around you will lift you if you are likable. So as we have now established that friendship is the basis of all success, right? So as I told you, likability is a factor, right? So one is likability. Second thing, how do we? I mean, see, I cannot just say all 25 of these people are my friends. I know everyone, but I cannot say I cannot just say they're all friends, right? I have to establish meaningful relations with everyone. I cannot say Pankaj, I met Pankaj today, so I cannot say Pankaj is my friend, but I want to make sure that before in the next couple of months, I know everyone. I know have a meaningful relationship with everyone. That's how friendships are brought. So, can friendship be bought? That's a very interesting question, right? Can friendships be bought? I mean, it's easy, right? So I can just order someone like say, okay, I can please someone saying that, okay, you are so good, you're good in this field. I mean, you can keep saying good things about him. Yeah, I mean, your friendship will run for a while, right? But those friendships will not last, right? Or else you can say, I mean, especially if you're trying to be a build a friendship with a girl, you can keep gifting her things and all that, right? I mean, generally everyone likes gifts, not just girls. Everyone likes gifts, right? So how long will you gift? Will money make you that friendship last? I mean, no. As long as you keep gifting, the friendship lasts, but it has to break down someday, right? So friendship is not based on pleasing someone. Friendship is not just based on giving gifts. So at the end of the day, if you just keep giving gifts, the only thing that you're going to lose is your money. You're not going to make any friendships. Okay. So as per the book, so there's a lot of points that the author describes and helping making friendships. I'll just these are very simple points. Okay, you don't have to like be a brainy to understand this, right? They're simple points. So first thing is how many of us, like say we go to conferences, we go to marriage house and all that, how many of us make effort to even try to introduce ourselves to people, right? I mean, you have a friend who has a common friend, but how many of us we even try to talk to that person, right? I mean, I know you don't have to talk to everyone, but I mean, at least people who you think you can connect with, do you even try to do that? No, right? So at least let's try making an effort to introduce ourselves to people, as many people as possible. Second thing is, when you talk to someone, make sure that they remember your name. Tomorrow I should not come and say, who was the host? Is it Karthik, Kiran? No, it should not be like that. It has to be, okay, I know Kiran is the host, Karthik and Supra are the co-host. So I should be I should know that when I come back to the session, say who is what, right? So third thing is, I mean, they knowing your name is fine. You should also make sure that you know their name, right? I mean, if Kiran, I know Kiran, does mean Kiran should know me, right? So he also has to recognize, okay, Karthik Prabhakar is one entity here. So that is third point. Fourth point is, I mean, so what if I call Shikhar Dhawan as Shika Dhawan, right? So he will not like it. So because he has a way it is to be spelled, right? So I'll always make sure that try to at least make sure you spell someone's name correctly. And once you're in a point where you can take the friendship further, try to get in touch with them, take their phone number or meet them personally and try to establish a relationship. And the last point is, of course, when you built a strong bond, make sure that you have a pleasant discussion with them rather than having a discussion which will not take you anywhere, right? So always make your relationship as a pleasant one. So these are some simple points which the author thinks that will help in making friendships. Apart from this, right, before we start establishing relationship, there are a couple of points that you'll have to keep in mind. You have to be open-minded first thing, right? I mean, don't try to go and build a relationship for thinking that everyone is perfect, right? You yourself are not perfect. I am not perfect, so I cannot expect anyone else to be perfect, right? Second point is recognize that everyone has a different character or a different thing, right? So if everyone is similar, there is no need of all 25 people being there. One person can talk on behalf of all the 25 people, right? Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone has a different character. Recognize that. Third thing is, don't be a preacher, man. You can't say this is how my life is and this is how life I have. I want everyone to live by my rules. That cannot happen, right? Each one has a different opinion, and make sure that you respect everyone's opinion. If you have a problem with anyone's opinion, keep it to yourself. Don't keep blabbering it out every time, right? You'll lose people. And just to wrap up, I'm going to talk next part in next week. So just to wrap up before I go, even building relationship or friendship is in your mind, right? So just consider the mind as a broadcasting system or a radio system for that matter, right? So radios, क्या होता है? Radios में either you get signal or you don't get signal. Here it's like you get either positive signal or you get negative signal. So which way you want to go and which way you want to build relationship is based on how you connect to the positive signal. Negative signals are easy to catch, but switching back to positive signal is difficult. You can't go to a island, you can go to a desert and expect you to get 94.3 FM. You have to come back to the city to get here, right? It's easier to go to a desert. It's difficult to come back to the city. So be on the positive side. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Karthik. I think Karthik shared overall 5 points. I remember exactly. Even if you implement one at a time, एक week में एक पकड़ के आप implement करो, I'm sure in next 1 or 2 months, 30% implement हो ही जाएगा. And then see the magic in your life. Amazing, Karthik. Thank you so much for sharing your learnings. All right, so we'll move to the next speaker. Arsh, you're there online? I'll spotlight Arsh. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Arsh.
Imagine for a moment you're traveling in an aircraft and there arises a problem in the aircraft. Now imagine the air hostess standing up and saying, "We request everyone to have the seats upright, put on the seat belts. Our aircraft is facing a problem, but you do not take stress and you do not panic." Now the moment she says, "You do not take stress and you not panic, what will happen? Everyone in the aircraft will take stress and everyone will panic. Now, why is it so? It is just because those negative suggestions are leading to negative auto suggestions. So that is why the air hostesses are specially trained to just speak this. We request everyone to have their seats upright, put on their seat belts, and relax. Because saying relax is actually very relaxing. And I feel that all of us should have auto suggestions in our life, and that too filled with positive emotions. Because our subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon the thoughts that are well mixed with feelings and emotions. I remember when I was in my 10th standard, and while I was studying, watching me study, my father's friend, he started telling me that he had a very wonderful teacher when he was doing his MBA. He started telling me that while he was studying, they had a 2 weeks gap. Neither the teacher was able to take the classes, nor the students were able to attend the classes. But the teacher told everyone to believe in him and they started the training. The teacher asked everyone to visualize a scenario in which a party is going on. A New Year party is going on. They're boys, they're girls. Visualize a boy goes to a girl and asks her, "Hi, ma'am, you are beautiful and rich. I'm smart and handsome. Will you marry me?" The teacher said, "This is direct marketing." The second point. Now a boy goes to a girl and asks her, "Ma'am, will you marry him?" Teacher said, "This is advertisement. Somebody else speaking for you." He said again, now a boy goes to a girl and asks her, "Ma'am, will you marry me?" And he gets a tight slap on his face. Now what is this? This is negative customer feedback. So in this manner, he started explaining all the points. He moved to the fourth point and said, now a girl goes to a boy and asks him, "Hi, handsome. You are rich and handsome. Will you marry me?" Now what is this? This is brand recognition. Then he takes the fifth point and he says, now a boy goes to a girl and asks her, "Ma'am, will you marry me?" And the girl's husband comes in between. What is this? This is demand and supply gap. Now again, he moved forward and said, now a girl goes to a boy and asks him, "Will you marry me?" But the boy's wife comes in between. He said, this is problems while entering into a new market that is already monopolized. So in this manner, he explained each concept to the entire hall. He used the technique of positive autosuggestion followed by visualization, which made everything productive, efficient, and complete on time. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say that whenever you are on the path of accomplishing your desires, please use the strategy of having positive autosuggestions and using them by visualization. Over to you, Kiran sir.
Wow, that's superb, amazing, amazing, Ash. In fact, I loved your delivery and the pauses in the talk. It was actually like a recorded podcast. I'm sure people were able to relate and listen to your voice and then visualize as well. And those analogies which you used is quite simple and yet powerful. I think I was listening to MBA, short MBA tips. Very lovely covered. Harsh, thank you so much for sharing. All right. Harsh, one question I wanted to ask. So, how do you prepare your talk? What is
So
your
I just read some like the book the Think and Grow Rich, and I just gather the main aim, what is it trying to describe, and then I gather some stories from here and there from YouTube, and then I deliver it here.
how much time does it take to prepare a topic for you?
Like it takes, I have not counted yet, but it would have taken to gather the story. Like I practice it about 3 to 4 times, and yeah, and gathering the points, it will take about half a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So I think there is no surprise, right? So I'm sure if you're facing struggle to speak, actually it's all about practice. It is not a talent. I know Arsh. Arsh, I think Arsh is one of the candidate. He shares his talks completely recorded before the book club, and I exactly know what he's going to present, and in the same flow and delivery. And that is one thing I really want to highlight because it is not at all talent, friends. It is practice, practice, and practice, and a lot of effort. Vijay takes one week to prepare the content what he delivers. So I don't see a reason why we should not practice. Amazing, Ash. Thank you so much for sharing your talk. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
sir. Thank you so much.
All right, great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Girija, you're online. Yeah, spotlight you. Yeah.
So everybody want to be a top performer in their career, but they don't know how. Obstacles come in between, right? You want to be a top performer, and some of your colleagues take your prize and they take the increment or hike or the bonus, right? So they come on your way. Is there any solution to it to to be a top performer in wherever you are working? Yes, there is a way. Let me tell you a story. So there was a Danish professor in the year 1820. His name was Hans Christian. He was working in University of Copenhagen in Denmark as a physics professor. While giving a demo on electricity to his class students, he was just using a simple battery, a wire, and a voltmeter to measure the current. Now, while doing the demo to measure the current, there was an obstacle. A magnet was there nearby. You are just putting aside the magnet. But while putting aside the needle of the magnet just moved a bit. He was kind of surprised why the needle moved. I was just putting it aside. He again brought back the magnet beside towards the wire. Again the needle moved. Okay, then he confirmed that the movement of the needle with his subordinate. Have you observed this? Whenever the electricity is there and the magnetic needle is near to it, it moves. So something is there between electricity and magnet. So he finally found the correlation between electricity and magnet and found the electromagnetic theory, which is kind of basis of all the electric equipments that we are using till date. The cell phone, the TV, the microwave, everything, every equipment you name it, the internet we are using it now are using electromagnetic theory. So it was not, so if you see, it was not in his mind to discover electromagnetic theory. He was just there to teach electricity and how to measure it to his students. But he discovered it by being curious, and then he pursued it, right? So by just by being curious about something important, he became a top scientist in the world, and on whose name lot of products are being sold, at least after this theory, right? So if you put this thing in our real life, put this as a perspective, how can you do that, apply this in your real life, right? Let me tell you few steps. So you have a work plan, right? You have some kind of yearly goal setting by your manager, or so what all you need to achieve in this year, right? You do it. That is your work plan, expected work. Also pay attention to what is going on around you, around the projects. Okay, some other interesting project, okay, or whatever, decide, just be curious and listen to what others are speaking. And if there is something interesting happening in your business that you have some plan or you can contribute, just do it, jump on it, and ask if it is significant. For sure, jump on it, and it will make sure that you will stand out from the rest of the crowd, and you will look like a top performer. Let me give an example. So there are our book club was going on. Everybody was expected to prepare some topic and give the brief about it, right? But if you observe, there are a lot of work going on behind the scene. Like Kiran is kind of briefing about collecting the data of the book club topics, and the timer being prepared, and some promotions we need to keep for our upcoming sessions, and a lot of things, logistic stuff goes on behind the scene, right? If you can help in some of those areas, you might also stand out than the other crowds, right? So I am just giving an example, but in a real life area, there will be some more complex work. But just keep your ears open and mind open, and jump on things that you like, and you'll surely definitely be counted as a top performer in your area. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, Girija. Wonderful, wonderful content. In fact, how related with electromagnetic effect with the reality and with the skill development. Amazing. Thank you so much, Girija, for sharing your talk. Awesome. So we are 9:45. So before we move to the next portion of our book club, we'll quickly share a short teaser of Vijay's last week's talk. And definitely thanks to Sashi. So Sashi has done the video editing. And as Girija was suggesting, so nothing happens automatically. People take that initiative, people do the editing. If there is no initiative, it's very difficult to run the book club, alone. So Sashi, thanks for that. Karthik, can you quickly share the teaser of the PIM?
People are the cause of happiness. People are the cause of frustration also, to be honest. If there's a misery, it is because of people. If it is a happiness, it's because of people. Human beings cannot stay lonely. Can you try to stay in one room for next 2 months? And pandemic has given us a good lesson that staying alone becomes so frustrating after one level, isn't it? That means people are important. And I'll tell you 3 simple things about people which you can remember. First, before I go further, let me give a Stanford research data. You can write it down, it will help you out. The Stanford research says success is equal to 87% is people knowledge, 87% is people knowledge, and 13% only is product knowledge. When I say product, any technical thing you can say. Whenever my teammates come and say, you know what, people are facing this problem. So I say, are you talking about yourself? If I'm not wrong, you are facing this problem. And for some time, if they have been working with me for a longer time, they start laughing. And if they are very new, they don't understand my question. So I repeat again, when you say people are struggling with this problem, you are talking about yourself. And it is true. I have all the right to find another job. Who can stop me to find another job? So mind came, no, there is no job, market is down. Check it out. Whenever you're thinking you have to change job, your mind will say market is down. Check it out. Even the best market, you will see market is down. If market is not down, at least in my area, it is down for sure. Check it out. I have posted so many people. So they somehow figure out a way to say that market is down for their department at least. Even if the global economy is high, their department is not performing well. Don't please assume things and don't come to conclusion, because 90% of the reason of stress is that we are not listening carefully and we are coming to the conclusion, and then to prove our ego, we are attacking left, right, and center. Don't do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karthik, for playing that. All right. So I hope people who are new saw a little bit of glimpse the way Vijay speaks. This is just a teaser of what Vijay spoke last week. It was truly amazing. In fact, we had a lot of workshops which Vijay conduct. That was truly amazing. Multitasking versus multiple tasks. If you don't know, then get in touch with us and get the recording at least, and then learn yourself as well. Wonderful. So we'll move to the next speaker. So Sashi edited. So Sashi, you're next. I'll spotlight. Where's Sashi? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Let me ask you one simple question. Will you take 100 rupees today or will you accept 1 rupee double every day? Which offer do you accept? I know most of the people have the mixed views on this, but you will get the clarity by end of my talk. When I'm reading the Power of the Compound book, I have remembered a small story from one of my childhood days, TV series, Panchitantram. I know it's available in the multiple language, and of course, most of the people had heard this name before. The story, the series story is something like this: a small discussion between the king and the prisoner. And the king is asking one question to the prisoner. By the way, prisoner, he will die in a couple of days. And the king is asking, hey, what is your last wish? And the prisoner replied, please serve food to my family after my death. Now king become very angry and he's asked again, what is your last wish? Now prisoner said, he think little smartly and give the response, and his response is something like this: give me the number of grains of rice on the last square of the chessboard by doubling the value in every move. So let me repeat the point again. The prisoner said, give me the number of grains of rice on the last square of the chessboard by doubling the value in every move. By the way, king does not know how many squares in the chessboard, and he simply ordered his minister to follow the order. And after some time, king lost his entire empire and may not fulfill the prisoner's last wish as well. So after king got the idea where this went wrong, so now after he checked that, so let's take take the chessboard, and in every chessboard we have the small squares will be there. Now the prisoner's question, his wish was double the rice grain for every single move. Let's suppose, consider we have the 10 square boxes in the chessboard, consider something for hypothetically. For every single move, 1 grain becomes 2, and every time after that 4, and after that 6, 6 becomes 12, 12 becomes 24, and this keep on going. Now after king has taken one of the big mathematician in his kingdom, and after he calculated the entire everything, it goes to the amount of the grains, it grows to 3 into 10 power 18. Sorry, 3 into 10 power 18. So 10 power 18 is something like a bigger matrix, tons of matrix. Even his entire life, he can't give that many of the grains to the prisoner. Somehow he just given his entire kingdom to the prisoner. Somehow the prisoner lives a very good life. The story here was the prisoner understood the value of the compounding, but whereas king does not able to understand. Why I'm saying all this kind of stuff now? My purpose of this talk was, in business or life, compound is the only way to the success. The person who have the good psychology and the patience can utilize the power of the compound in a bigger heights. And making our goals with the baseline of compounding can lead to the bigger good fruits out of that. So let me give one simple story. We know that the BJ's mission was to empower the 1 lakh people in India. So can we think that BJ can do it as an alone? No, he can't. Because as a person who it's impossible to empower the 1 lakh people in India is impossible thing. Because it requires a lot of people's strength is required. So what BJ did here? So BJ has personally trained a couple of the coaches, maybe his couple of the leaders. So BJ spent his lot of money and the time and energy and everything on this 10 leaders. Now what these 10 leaders do? Again, this single leader has elaborated the one kind of leaders he's just established. Now Kiran is one of the person and Karthik is one of the person from the coach's point of view. Now BJ has started this mentoring, empowering the people. BJ mentored a couple of the people and the single person has just mentoring the couple of the people, and this cycles keep on growing. In our science school days, we see that chain reaction. Maybe if you see in the nuclear physics, some kind of chapter, we hear of the chain reaction. So this BJ's empowerment is started in the compounding way. Now, can BJ did it alone? No, he did not did it alone. So he created the leaders. Now leader is creating the leader. That one more leader is creating the one more leader. Now, if you see, can the BJ empower the 1 lakh people in India? Of course, why not? It's very simple thing. What BJ did, he empowered the 10 people. This 10 people will do everything. Now, to end this beautiful talk, so I have seen this quotation from when I'm reading the book, the author has written this quotation. The quotation is something like this. The quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Let me repeat the quotation again. The quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So it's all my this weekend's talk, and thanks to the Kiran for the opportunity, and over to the Kiran again.
Amazing. What an end, Sashi. Quality of life depends on the question you ask yourself. Wow, that is so powerful. Superbly covered, Sashi. I'm really happy that every single week you are growing, and I think we all can see the growth which Sashi is having, and that is a success that book club or Vijay's contribution can have directly or indirectly. Amazing. Thank you so much, Sashi. You're the live example. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Nikhila, are you there? Nikhila, are you online?
Yes, Kiran.
Nikhila, will you go next? I'll spotlight.
Yeah, I can go, sir.
Is it possible for you to switch on the video as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to share my screen as well.
Sure, sure. You already have the permission.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Hello, everyone. This is Nikhila. So today I wanted to speak about a very interesting topic. But before going to the topic, I wanted to share a little story. That is, okay, let us assume there is some XY person who wanted to reduce his weight. So he started following a very strict diet plan, and he's having all the healthy food. So one day, what happened? Some of his friends invited him, and he went to their place. So there they have offered some sweets to him. Initially, he did not have those. Uh, uh, he controlled himself, saying that he is on strict diet. But after some time, he convinced himself, saying that okay, let's just have 1/4 of sweet. What nothing will happen with that karke. So after that, he just not he couldn't resist himself. So he ended up eating 4 sweets. So with this, what I want to say is, it initially it was his mind which is controlling him to not to eat more sweets, and later once he started eating sweets, it is his body he urges that yeah, let's finish all these sweets. So from this it is like, so what the main point from this story is, it has to be always the mind that has to decide what should be given to the body, but not vice versa. So that is what the self management comes from. And I wanted to share, so with this I want to share my screen. Uh, can you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Okay. Okay. This is a topic which I wanted to share. That is an intelligence. Uh, so, how many types of intelligence it is? So, first, intelligent coefficient, which is IQ, and then emotional coefficient EQ, and then spiritual coefficient. I'll explain this by taking a small example. Uh, okay, if someone asks us to climb a tree, what do we think first? First, we'll think in how many in how much time we want to climb a tree. Are we able to reach that within a time and all? And then second thing, what we can see is what happens. Means I'm feeling scared. What will happen if I climb a tree? What will I fall down in the while climbing a tree and all. And then third thing, what we'll think is what will we get while climbing a tree? So with all these questions runs in our mind. So this is how it is. So someone has told this person to climb a tree. If he choose the first one, he will get the fruits from that. If he choose the second one, he is not going to get anything. So with from this example, it is the spiritual coefficient which tells us why we need to climb a tree. Not only this, if you want to do anything in our life, we have to always use our spiritual question first and ask ourselves why we have to do that, and then emotional quotient. So what happens if we do that? Then and then last, so what is the result that we are going to get? So this is how we have to think uh, in our real life. So this is all that I want to share today in this today's books club. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Kiran.
Lovely, Nikhil. I really liked it. You started with a story, you also presented it, and the best part, you also ended in time. I think
Yeah.
before Karthik showed his screen, you already finished and dot done. He must be thinking whether to overwrite your presentation or not, whether to show or not. But before that, you finished it properly. I think amazing. Thank you so much, Nikhila, for sharing your talk. Really
Yeah,
added value.
thanks everyone.
Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Shraddha, you want to go next? Shraddha, spotlight. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, hello everyone. So, last week I have talked about goals and system, and I have also urged you all to focus on having a system for yourself rather than focusing on your goals every now and then. And this week now I want to talk about how we can build a system for ourselves, for individually ourselves. And for that I was thinking, like, why only I will speak and you people will listen? Better we do an activity kind of thing. वैसे भी बहुत देर हो गया, सब लोग सुन रहे हैं. So I thought, let's do an activity kind of thing. So I need you all to have a pen and paper with you. What I'm going to do is I will ask some questions. I have designed a few questions for you all, and that you have to answer. And after answering the questions, you will get an overview, an idea about what your system should look like. Also, guys, you don't have to show your answers to every one of us, and that is why feel free to answer, to write whatever you want to write. It is more of a, like, a self-reflection kind of thing. And as Shashi told, like, I have noted this, the quality of our life depends on the quality of questions we ask. So these, I think, are the quality questions which we should ask to ourselves to define our systems. So are you all ready with a pen and paper so that I can ask questions? And you have to just do it quickly so that I should not take much of the time. So the first question for everyone is, write down your goal. Out of the many goals you must have in life, write down any one goal in detail. Write down for yourself, write your goal of life. Any one goal in detail. And it is totally for yourself. Okay, shall I proceed to next question? So the next question will be, like, to achieve that particular goal, what type of person you should become? Like, there are some qualities which you must have to achieve that particular goal, which you have written as your first point. So what are the qualities you think you should have in yourself to get to accomplish that goal? You have to write those qualities. Okay, so the qualities which you have written, I'm sure there are a few qualities which you want that they should be there in yourself. So if it means that if we want to have some qualities, it simply means we should work on ourselves, right? So now in the third point, you have to write the steps which you should follow so that you can incorporate those qualities in yourselves. Like आप कौन से steps आपको everyday basis पे करने चाहिए so that you can incorporate those qualities in yourself. So you have to write those steps. What are the steps you should do on an everyday basis or a weekly basis, whatever, it depends on your goal and your qualities. Okay, guys, so these steps which you have just now written are nothing but the habits. I'm sure there are a few habits only which you have written are the things you have to incorporate in your daily life, right? So these bunch of habits are nothing but the system that you have just now written, built for yourself, which actually you have to focus on, which you have to work upon to achieve, to accomplish that goal. I'm very sure that the third point, if you will do all the steps, whatever written on the third point, if you will do it in regular basis, you are going to accomplish your goal in the fixed time. So this is the system which you right now have built for yourself with these 3 questions. Now, how we can work better to have that habits, to build, to work on that system, this I will touch on my next week's talk for sure. I'll give easy tips and tricks to apply so that we can have these habits on regular basis without fail. So this is from my side. These things I'm learning from Atomic Habits, that book only. So this is my learning, Krishan. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is so creative, Shraddha. You engaged all of us to write the right things. Actually, we all know what to do, and you made us write. I think now people know what to do. अब तो और excuse क्या मत ही दो यार. हमको भी पता है.
I hope this would have worked. Means I don't know if it is working or not. This is what I did when I read that book. So I thought let's do it with you all also. Maybe it will work for some of you.
Definitely. मेरा तो काम कर गया. मैंने तो सब सारे क्वेश्चन के आंसर लिख दिए. पता नहीं बाकी क्या हुआ. You can share in the offline maybe. Sure. We can discuss. Great. Yeah. So we'll move to the next speaker. Rohit, you'll go next.
Yes, I will go next. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So thank you, everyone, for the wonderful talks, and Shraddha especially. Okay, so let's start it with my talk. My talk is from this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The chapter is how to deal with the people, like how to the secret of dealing with the people, basically. Okay, so let's start it. Okay. So the thing is that we all have lots of people to deal. We have our office people, we have our friends, we have our relatives. Okay, we have our like our family, our cousins who are with us 24/7. Right? So we have lots of people, right? So how to deal with them? Okay. So the first thing, the only thing that can help you is let them do what they want. Okay, simple. It is very simple. Let them do what they want. This is the only way. If you force them to do something, if you put a gun, or if you use some other way, they have their own repercussions. They have their own consequences. That method will not work for long. So let them do what they want. Now we all have some desire to do something. We all want to achieve something in our life, right? We all have goals, right? We have goal to be financially independent. We have goal to get the right partner for life. We have goal to get the right kind of friends. We have lots of goals, right? Of being happy, of being being in the right group, right? Being with the people who appreciate, right? The first thing that that comes in our mind that we all want is, when we want to achieve those things, is a feeling of importance. Okay, so in your life, if you don't have that feeling of important, like if you are not feeling you are important, then we are not we are as good as animals, right? Because they don't have this feeling. If that feeling would not have been with us of importance, our civilization would have been not existing. Why? Because the feeling that give you of being important is the feeling that distinguishes you from the animals, from the instinct the animal have. We have more of that instinct. We have more feeling, more of those things. Every time when we see a criminal, they all are bragging about their crimes. I think you must have seen that video of Vikas Dubey, I think, who has killed lots of policemen, and he was then later killed in the encounter. He was arrested from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and in the video he was saying, "Do you know who I am? मैं विकास दुबे हूँ." When police arrested him, he was saying, "मैं विकास दुबे हूँ, तुम मुझे जानते हो? मैंने कितने पुलिस वालों को मारा है? मेरे साथ रिस्पेक्ट से बात करो, मुझे अच्छे से पकड़ो." Something like that he was saying. Okay, why he was bragging about those things? He was trying to say that I am important person. I have my own importance. The thing is that he was doing wrong thing, but the feeling that he was carrying was giving him some kind of pleasure. And in this way, I go to my next point, that is feeling of insanity. Lots of people who don't get importance in their life, they got insane to achieve that feeling. There is one story of a patient of psychiatrist. He was treating one patient. There was one lady who wanted to have a good marriage, love, and the children, but her marriage proved to be a tragedy. Her husband did not love her. He was not able to. He was not taking care of her. He was not doing anything at all that she wanted to do. So what happened? After some time, she got insane, and she got into the this hospital, right? And she was living in her own fantasy, that she was having all those things that she wanted to have, right? The feeling that I have children, I have great husband, I have great life, something like that. So people go insane to achieve that insanity, right? So that's the second point. Third point is that if you are appreciating people, you appreciate them truly. Otherwise, don't appreciate them. As Dale Carnegie said, that I will appreciate all my colleagues honestly, and he also lived up to that word to his tombstone, that he write on his tombstone that here lies the man who knew how to get around with the men who were cleverer than him. So this is what he wrote on his tombstone, right? He was appreciating all the men in his life when he was alive, and he also appreciated when he was not alive. He was dead. Can you think of this, right? So the summary of this topic is that give great and honest and sincere appreciation to the people. That's all. Thank you, Kiran. Over to you.
Lovely. I really loved the example of वो tombstone वाला. इतना appreciation करो कि बाद में यार subconscious में आ जाने चाहिए यार, उसको भी appreciate करो जिसने आपका did the end, which was amazing. Truly.
Thank you.
Great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Karthik Sahana, I'm spotlighting you. You're next. Yep.
I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, loud and clear.
So, hi all, this is Karthik Ansana. I work in the software industry. She works in the investment banking. We are residing in Bangalore. So, in one of my previous talks, I was talking about this book called Becoming a Person of Influence, right? So, I hope you remember this. And I gave you a small intro on how, whether you have to be an influencer, how does it actually matter, right? So I'll a little bit take into the steps, right? How you can actually become an influencer. We saw the benefits of being an influencer, why you have to be in the previous talk. So now we see what is the characteristic we need to have, okay, to become an influencer, right? So there are multiple traits. Today I'll explain about one important, the first trait actually. Okay, so let me share my screen quickly. So I hope you are able to see, right? So what is the first thing which I think last time while ending I spoke about this influencing steps, right? So the first step is about integrity. Okay, a person of influence need to have integrity with people, right? So that is about modeling, which I'm going to talk about. So when it comes to integrity, let's see what actually some questions which will help you measure your integrity. Okay, so let us see one by one. Okay, how well do I treat people from whom I can gain nothing? Okay, am I transparent with others? Do I role play based on the person I am with? Right? Am I the same person when I am in the spotlight as I am when I am alone? Okay. Do I quickly admit wrong doing without being pressed to do so? Right? Do I put other people ahead of my personal agenda? Do I have an unchanging standard for moral decisions, or do circumstances determine my choices? Okay. Do I make difficult decisions even when they have a personal cost attached to them? Okay. When I have something to say about people, do I talk to them or about them? Am I accountable to at least one other person for what I think, say, and do? Right. So these are some questions you can take some time to think about. Okay. So after watching, you can rewatch it, and you can take some time to reflect on how these things will actually determine how what integrity is about, right? So I would like to share a very interesting story about Johnson and Johnson. So we all know about Johnson and Johnson, right? Uh, this president of Johnson and Johnson, the mission of the company was operate with honesty and integrity, right? So there was an incident many years back about Tylenol crisis. I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not. Okay, so several people died, and the researchers traced it and found that it was because of contaminated Tylenol capsules, right? So so many days before this crisis, when president announced this mission that we have to operate with honesty and integrity, and he sent a memo to all his management whether they are abiding by this mission and they are able to follow it, and he got a fulfilling answer, right? And after this crisis, immediately after 1 hour of the crisis, he announced publicly that there will be all the Tylenol capsules, right? It will be taken off the shelf, right? And that impacted around $100 million to the company. So the reporters were like immediately questioned him, how can you take such a big major decision so rapidly and so quickly, because it's very impactful to the company, right? And the answer from the president was very simple and very easy. Okay, he says, I was practicing what we agreed on in our mission statement, right? That is operating with honesty and integrity. It was as simple as that, right? So to talk about in terms of layman words, see, if you construct a house, what about the foundation you build, whether it is strong or how is it, right? When a storm comes, if your foundation is strong, you can imagine the result. If not, you will see there will be cracks and it will be doomed, right? So that is about integrity. And integrity is not determined by circumstances. It is not based on credentials, and not to be confused with reputation, right? So when it comes to character, reputation, and credentials, I would like to share again the difference, okay, between these things. What is the difference between character and credentials, right? So I hope you are able to see again. Credentials, they are temporary. Character is permanent, right? Credentials turn the focus to rights. Character keeps the focus on responsibilities, right? Credentials add value to one person. Okay, character adds value to many people. Okay, credentials look to past accomplishments. Character builds a legacy for the future. Okay, credentials, it often evoke jealousy in others, right? Character generates respect and integrity. Okay, credentials can only give you in the door. Character keeps you there, right? So these are some important characteristics. The difference between credentials and character. I hope you will definitely agree with these points, right? So make integrity your best friend, guys, right? And what is the major benefit if you have this integrity? Trust is developed, right? In today's technical world, trust is like a major thing which people are looking for, right? We need to develop trust, and this integrity will give you that major benefit like trust. Okay, especially, and also if you are in a business or if you have your own venture, right? Trust, integrity is what really matters a lot. Okay, so each day, do what you should do before what you want to do, right? So this is a small assignment again. I want you to go back and do what you should do before what you want to do, right? Let me give you a small example. So last weekend we had a production deployment, and you know, right, once the deployment happens, at least for next 2-3 days, there will be small hiccups in the application and people will keep shouting. So I was like damn tired after this deployment, and until yesterday I was like damn tired. I couldn't read any book. Okay, I wanted to prepare for the book club also, and yesterday night when I logged out and I was like sitting, okay, I was thinking, what do I do now? There was phone there, and I kept this book purposefully next to the phone. Okay, I was about to take my phone and watch Instagram reels. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to talk about integrity, man, right? So, and coincidentally I took the book, and then when I read this statement in the book, it was like, oh my god, so much of coincidence, right? Okay, so every day do at least 1 or 2 things what you should do, okay, before what you want to do. And every adversity a man will be seen, I mean, a man will be tested in every adversity, right? But the true test of his character comes when he is got power. Okay, so when you have power, if world follows you, would you make it a better world, right? That is the question we need to ask. All right, so before closing, I would like to share this. Many succeed momentarily by what they know. Okay, some succeed temporarily by what they do, but few succeed permanently by what they are, right? So it's a very profound statement, I would say. So it's not easy. I mean, this integrity may not be the easiest one, I would say. Okay, but it's the only one that will get you where you ultimately want to go. Okay, so you may feel it's old style, but it's definitely in style also. And the live example which I definitely see is Vijay, the way he's running PIM. And you know, right, here nobody has any designation, any title, right? How we can run such a community, right? Around 250-300 people plus join PIM weekend workshop, and so many of us join book club. Who is asking you to join, right? And how is they able to run this community? It's because of integrity that I definitely see in Vijay. So this is what I wanted to share, and thank you so much.
Wow, amazing, Karthik. So concentrated talk. In fact, I have to again go back to the recording and see the points and reflect on those questions, and then compare the character credentials. So it's so deep to revisit again and again and just good ke pee jana. Amazing, amazingly shared, Karthik. Thank you so much. Sana, you can go next. I think you are spotlighted. Yeah.
Want to spoil the flow, actually. It was so good. So last time I was talking about fear from this book, and last time we also saw how to identify our fear and how to pin it down. So once we pin it down, what we need to do, we need to break that and build confidence to present ourselves. And the biggest fear in the world is to face people, and people are our biggest fear. So yeah, especially when we come to the open forum, we all want to talk, but somewhere something is stopping us. So today I'd give you maybe about a few points that might help you to break that, break that mindset of being fearful of coming up to the stage. So to first see, we need to put people in the proper perspective. First thing is to get the balanced view of the other person as well. So the other fellow also is just like us, but it's not just that person who's important, it is we also who are important. If we take an interview, I'm sure at least 90% of us here would have shivered, especially on our first interview, thinking that the opposite guy is bigger than us, is more important than us, is more powerful than us. And somewhere we would have stammered or stuttered while giving our interview. But if we think that that guy is also having his own expectations, has his own problems and has his own fears, but he has crossed that and is presenting himself. So that's where we get to know the other person and balance it. The second one is develop an understanding attitude. So there was a story that the story, I mean, the book mentions. So I was able to relate to this because I had a similar instance. So there's one hotel guy who's dealing with a very tough customer. That customer says that he's booked a double suit, but then the boy says, or even on the telegram, it was confirmed as a single suit, and there was a big fight happening. The next turn was the author. The customer steps out saying that this is poor management, and he yells at the hotel boy and he steps out. And what is the mindset of a regular person? If that hotel boy was there, he would have as well got irritated, or he would have felt bad. But when the next customer, that's the author, came, he calmly said, "Good evening, sir." And he said, "This is one of the best good evenings I've heard." Because that guy, the hotel boy, that boy says that, maybe he's going through a rough time and does not know how to react and where to put it out. So we have this times, right, where we, especially during our exams, after the board exams, when we get low marks, we think that guy must have fought with his wife and he would have come and corrected my paper. We all have that. At least one of us would have thought like this. If not others, I have definitely thought. So if we if we develop an understanding attitude, saying that everybody inside is a good person, everybody, maybe he's a nice folk by a person. So these are two important things. And the next one is doing what right keeps our consciousness, builds our confidence. Because if we know that it is wrong and we tend to do it, there are two things that will happen. First thing is guilt. Second thing, this guilt breaks the confidence. So to keep this away and actually practice building confidence, there are 5 different points. I'll brief it very simply because they're extremely basic points that we just don't do it. So the first one is be a front seater. So this is common in a crowd. When we go, especially town halls, we don't use the front rows. We go and sit behind, just assuming that, oh, okay, they will call me now, or they will recognize me or ask me to answer something. So we should not be that. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, we are all virtually connected. Making your video is one step towards being or building confidence. That is how we can at least show our face and start facing people. The second one is practice making an eye contact. Again, here we feel that when we do an eye contact, we feel that if we have the fear, we'll either feel that I'm inferior, or I'm afraid, or the feeling of being weak. So back in school, when I used to participate in a lot of events just to break and present myself. So I used to participate in a lot of debates and seminars, and we were taught this one technique during the whole course of practice. It's a very simple thing that we all can practice even now. The first one is looking at the walls at your eye level. That is just not looking straight, but starting from your left to the right, doing an eye contact with the wall in the first step at your eye level. The next level would be to the chair level, and the next level would be to the floor level. Back then we had students sitting on the floor, the teachers and parents were sitting on the chairs. So that's how we were given a practice. And today when I'm talking to people, I can confidently look into their eyes and talk. And the second one that we could do is, again, we are virtually connected. Look into the mirror, look into your eyes and talk. So that is the second way of building confidence. The third one is walk 25% faster. So if we see, there are three types of people who maintain 3 different speeds. The first one is the sluggish person who does not have a posture and is very slow. Maybe he or she is lost majorly, or lost in his own thoughts majorly. And that person is very meek and does not have the confidence to face people. The second one is average, where people are, they're just neutral. They don't want to be either the person who is weak or the very confident person. The third one is the person who has 25% extra speed. This person, this kind of people actually have higher self-image, and they are towards achieving a goal. Maybe they have, okay, in the next 15 minutes, I have so-and-so meeting. I got to be there. I need to be dressed like this. I have something important to achieve. So these are people who walk with a good posture and walk 25% faster. And the fourth one is practice speaking up. So whenever we get an opportunity, especially like an open meet like this, or it could be in an office meeting or a town hall. If you have an opportunity, if they ask an opinion, please raise your hand and say, yes, I want an opinion, if you genuinely have one. And I think we should never feel that okay, I might sound foolish or I might sound stupid. It's absolutely okay to being speaking up, because you're daring enough to beat the crowd and stand up and talk. And the last one is smile big. You really need to smile, because this definitely increases confidence. It's not always okay, because sometimes when there's a tough time, we can't smile, but forcefully, if we do this, then definitely we will be able to face the situation with grace, and we will be able to achieve it. So put these 5 procedures to work for you, and builds your confidence to face people. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share.
Wow. So again, concentrated 4-5 important points. Definitely powerful, Sahana. And loved your stories, that debate wala thing. अगर डर लगता है लोगों के आंखों में देखने के लिए, तो एटलीस्ट वॉल को तो देख लो, फिर चेयर को देखो, फिर नीचे देख लो. चिल है. That's a very good start. I think we all, even I used to do the same thing. Initially, I could never make eye contact, because the moment I see people's faces, उनके expression आगे मुझे डर लगता है, कैसे expression people give it. And then धीरे-धीरे, we learned how to overcome and then go ahead with it. Amazing, Sana. Thank you so much for sharing your talk. All right. So we have last 2 to 3 speakers. We'll quickly take them. I think we'll take next 10-15 minutes. We'll get it done. So Revati, you're online. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Awesome. Great.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It was really an amazing talk. I don't know what to speak now. It was so amazing, I can say. So anyway, the topic that I wanted to speak today is dedication to reality. And this is from the book, The Road Less Traveled. So I have covered the first 2 pointers, like how we manage our pains and problems. The first one was delaying the gratification, where I told that we need to always prioritize our pain points, and then we need to think of the pleasure later. Then the second one was we need to always take the responsibility of our problem instead of running away from it or blaming others. So today I wanted to cover dedication to reality. So before that, let me start with a small story. So this story is about a small child. Okay, so see, as a child, we all expect our parents to pamper us a lot and buy whatever we ask, and also it's like celebrate our birthday. I mean, it's like we want to be pampered, we want to be felt like we are very important, so we need that attention, right? As a child, that's how everyone behaves. So it's the same thing with him too. So there, what happens, since his parents are always busy, it will be the case like they will forget, or they would have promised something to buy for him, and they don't keep their promises, or they can't even celebrate his birthdays and all. So over the time, like what happens with this child is he comes into a such a kind of mode that he thinks that I never want to believe my parents, or I can't trust on them, they don't love me, and that's the reason they don't do whatever they promise. So basically he doesn't trust them. See, me as a child, I see only my parents, right? And that's how I perceive the world also. So like how the parents are, that's how the other parents will be, or the people in the world are. That's how a child psychology is. So that's how when this child is brought up, when he enters into his teenage, he carries the same kind of whatever the philosophy that he believes, that he can't trust the people. And with that mentality, what happens, he always gets into quarrel even with his friends, because he cannot trust the people. And even if he goes to his college or with his lecturers, it always becomes like he thinks whatever they tell, it's just a lie, it's not going to help him anywhere. So even with teachers, he gets into argument and he spoils the relation. So again, that way, like you're getting it right. Wherever he goes, he carries that same kind of belief that I cannot trust the people, because that is what has happened with him in the childhood, that he was not given a proper care, and he continues that. And finally, when he gets married, even in his marital life, what he does is he doesn't have a good relation with his wife, and finally his relation is spoiled to such an extent that his wife leaves him, and she goes away with the child. So now he is very deeply disturbed because he misses his child but not his wife, because that's the relation that he had made with his wife. So see, it's a very simple story. I think you would have seen this in the many movies, at least in Telugu movies I have seen that. It's always few movies start like they show a child who is neglected a lot, and then he grows up, and then he becomes a villain or something of this sort of things, you know. So the point what I wanted to cover here is, see, the whatever the philosophy that he believed during his childhood, might be it worked at that point in time for him, but had he been changed that moving forward in his life, things wouldn't have been so worse for him. Okay, because see, might be when I'm a child, the kind of education, or even let's say for that matter, the clothes that I wear, right, so that will not fit me when I'm growing. So accordingly, I buy the new clothes and I try that it has to fit for me. So the same way, when I want to go to a destination, I should use the right map, right? So it's not like I can use my old map and still expect to go to my destination. That is always the wrong thing. So I think most of the people who work in IT, they can relate. Right, so often there are many changes in our field. So if we don't get aligned with that, we are laid very back, and one day like we will be thrown out of the industry. So that happens in our life also. See, everyone, I mean, most of us might have our own experiences, but we shouldn't carry forward that bitter philosophies or whatever we have made for ourselves. So we should always try to see the reality, and we have to try to inculcate them as we grow. Else the life will be like, I mean, so it's just like the same story, whatever I have explained. So that's all I wanted to cover. Thank you.
Amazing, Revati. I loved the flow of your talk. In fact, I remember exactly, I think 1 year back. Is it 1 year, Revati, joining the book club, or close to 1 year?
It is close to 1 year.
1 year. I remember how shy you were before, and you're not speaking, and the video also was not on. And see, now you're like complete transformation, and amazingly, in fact, I'm so happy the way Seema is working with you as a coach, and in the background, what the kind of effort you're putting and growing and putting all of efforts in the background is really tremendous. And I see the results already. So I think it's all worth it. Amazing.
One question. What is the title of the book, Revati?
The Road Less Traveled by...
Okay.
Super. All right. So we have one more speaker, and then we can wind up. Mitesh, are you online? Mitesh.
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. So Mitesh, I'm spotlighting you. You can go ahead. Yes, Mitesh, you can go ahead.
So I want to share my screen first.
Sure.
कैसे होता है?
That I'm the last speaker ever, because I have a very exciting topic today. And I would say this time the topic was given by Kiran to me. Most of the time I pick my topic, but today it is given by Kiran. I would say why. when most of us connect giving a topic, or you give us a topic, what happens? You take your time, right? You take 1 week, even at the last moment of the time, you still change the topic and say that I'm not prepared, right? Does it happen with any of us? Like, no, Kiran, I'm not yet prepared. Maybe next time I'll speak. Today I'll be the listener. How many of you say this? I don't remember saying this to Kiran, but I'll share a couple of very interesting things today. I am sure when you're joining a book club, the objective is not only to be a speaker, but read a couple of pages in a week, right? Don't any one of you think, right? It's just reading 2 pages a week. I'm not even asking you to read a whole book or even 5 pages, just 2 pages. 2 pages mein aapko aisa kya 2 words nahi milega, which makes a bigger difference in your mind. Let's take 2 words which I read a book today itself. That's a very wonderful book. The first word could be optimism or optimistic, and second, let's take it as hope. Okay. When do you get excited to pick a book? When you really like to read? I was excited in my college only to get marks, क्योंकि job चाहिए था मुझे. Yeah, that was one part of the story. After excluding the college book aside, then I started picking a lot of books, क्योंकि देखते थे friends used to read this novel, that novel. Yeah. But 2.5 years back, let's go forward, I heard an author named John C. Maxwell, right? So what is the big thing that I heard about this author? Because this author was crazily followed by Vijay. And I used to like the way Vijay used to tell his talk, the way he connects, the way he tells reality to people. So then I went and looked at this book, and I'm very, very honest to you, मुझे कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया उस book से. This is so high level words. I would say that I read so many books, but still I did not connect it. I closed the book, and I think I remember I going to Seema or Kiran. I told them I'm not able to connect with John C. Maxwell at all. Do you know what was the solution? But I like the content similarly shared by Vijay about John C. Maxwell. So today I'm talking about the book Change Your World. The best thing why I'm saying about this book is this completely talks about what I am saying. When you really are looking forward to change something, yeah. When you're looking forward to change something, what is that you do? Do you look around at everyone else, or do you have to really look on yourself that you want to change? Then mujhe laga ki someone with a tagline or a title, John C. Maxwell is an author who is named as creating legacy in writing and adding value. He wants to add value in people's life in such a way that they create leaders and those leaders create leaders. So it's a legacy of writing, right? So his objective was not only writing. He is an author of leadership, and that word printed in my mind. अब मुझे लगा कि ये book समझ में कैसे नहीं आएगा. The reason I was not reading is I am obviously an excited person every single time, but when you read certain topics, you should be excited, but you should be calm in understanding that. Yeah, there are 2 different things to that. So in the first 3 pages when I read this book, it says that the word optimism is greater than pessimistic, right? It's good to be optimistic than being pessimistic. But hope is way bigger than the word optimistic. When you have a hope in your life, you try to change not only yourself, but you look forward for a way to change the world. We always wait that someone should make a change, right? हम लोग सोचते हैं कि someone will come in my life, make a change, और मैं next day शाहरुख खान बन जाऊंगा, right? This is what most of us think. Ki tomorrow I wake up early in the morning, some magical thing happens and I'm sitting on a royal chair. Does that really happen? No, right? So first few 2 pages which I read today, it actually told me a lot of things which were connecting the dots of all the speakers today which I heard. I would like to conclude by saying that it was an amazing, amazing book club talk today from all the speakers, because I was keenly listening to everyone's talk. And it had one or the other pointer of John C. Maxwell cover page. When we say preface, आप जब book कोई book बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद करते हो, उसके beginning और end सब पढ़ते हो, right? When someone gives you a topic, you just go to that page and read the topic. But when you like to read something, you even read the tit and bit. उसके साथ किसने काम किया था, whether he praised his wife or not. Don't you read all these things? I mean, I'm talking about me. I do that at least. So John C. Maxwell keeps something at that level now, that I read his book and I am always excited to pick. But this book was in a hold for a very long time now. And yeah, finally I got an ebook of it, but I started reading this. So this was my excitement. So whenever you pick any book, guys, this level of excitement should be there to speak. And I want to really tell something interesting. This is out of my book club talk now. I'm done with the talk. Something is, when you say that you are not ready with the talk, I'm sharing my personal experience. You are getting a beautiful platform to speak. There was a well said line, practice, practice, and practice makes you a great speaker, right? Absolutely, that is 100% true. But do you think that Kiran says me, Supra, would you like to speak? Let's take it in that way. Agar wo mujhse puchte hain and I just say, no, I don't want to speak. Who is losing, Kiran or me? I would have read 3 to 4 books and I would have told everyone that you read. I have read 5 books. Don't you think in that 5 book, I have got one single line which could make a value in one of your life? I'm not even looking at 16 participants. At least one single person would have taken one pointer out of whatever I would have said today. So my objective is saying that it really doesn't take weeks to prepare a topic, guys. Let me be very straight and honest to you. So when you have the heart to speak something, pick a small thing, make a story, and speak for at least 5 lines. You don't have to speak for 3 minutes. That's one of the input I just wanted to add today, because I had lots of chat with many people and I just decided I'll be adding this one to this talk today. Thank you so much, Kiran, for giving me this opportunity to be the first speaker of the day today. Thank you so much.
Kiran, you are on mute.
Am I audible now? All right. Speechless हो गया था ना, मैं mute हो गया था. Listening to Supra, I got mute. See, what an amazing talk. But yeah, amazing. The book, in fact, what Supra was suggesting was too good. In fact, Change Your World is so deep book. If you read it, the more you're struggling in your life, the more you will connect with the book. If you've really struggled or failed in your life more, his talks, his content is so connectable. In fact, अभी तक book को खत्म भी नहीं कर पाया हूँ, because I started long back. It's almost half, and now he has started speaking of my past 4.5 years of struggles. He has already spoken. I don't know how John C. Maxwell came to know about my life. उसने already बता दिया कि इस सब चीजों आप go through कर चुके होगे. But रुकना नहीं, लोग आएंगे. You know, the cause is there. Until you give up, then the game is over. Be there. Someone will come. क्रांतिकारी आएगा कोई. There are people who will come like क्रांतिकारी मचा भी देगा, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि क्रांतिकारी हो गया. So never give up. Always have hope. And definitely the book is amazing. You all should pick it up, because in fact Vijay ने इतना promote किया है, वो book का price भी बढ़ चुका है. Vijay, whatever book Vijay promotes, just instantly उसका पता नहीं वो machine learning start हो जाता है Amazon का. Suddenly उसी point of time में book के order आते तो उसका price बढ़ जाता है. And then हम लोग को फिर विजय बोलते हैं कि चलो थोड़ा रुक जाओ, अभी बोला है distribute करके ले लेना वो. But yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Supra. Great. So I really loved today's book club. All of you spoke through your heart. That is one good thing I found out overall. Almost all of your talk straight from your heart, and it really had an amazing impact. Superb. So Karthik will quickly take a photo, and then just let me do the gallery view.
I hope all of them do remember what this Sunday is. It's not going to be a book club, but it's going to be a family meet. So we, a part of PIM's family, cordially invite you, to be a part of the event. So I think we have also shared a link in the book club Telegram channel. So please do fill the form so we can know how many participants and how more enthusiastic and more entertaining we can do. So yeah.
So this
please
was a special oral invitation from Sahana, Kiran, Karthik, me, and all the team members here, right? Sahana, yeah, very well made. It's a virtual e-card, right? What do we call it? The oral card.
Virtual invitation.
E-invite.
E-invite, yeah. Nice.
So we get that in the wedding invitation, no? Invited by, best compliments from, so it's going to be Kiran, Bharat, Supra, Karthik, Sahana, Sasi, Bhushan, all of us. So please do attend the event.
Grandparents, parents, children, everyone. Okay, let's take a quick photo.